Welcome to Who Knew. We are fans of the current series of Doctor Who, and here we discuss our likes, dislikes, and insights into the modern regeneration of the show. Subscribe, review, and listen to us on Apple Podcast and Spotify, or our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WhoKnewPodcast. All our episodes are on whoknewpodcast.com. You can leave comments there or email us at whoknewpodcast@gmail.com. We also have an Instagram and Twitter account. Tweet at us at whoknewpodcast. Find us on Facebook. Well, today we're doing a Riversong timeline episode, a Bootstrap thingy episode. These are, I guess this would be for diehards because this is not the main character of the Doctor Who show. This is Riversong. So these are all the televised episodes that Riversong has appeared in as of March 23rd, 2025. And we're going to try our best to put them in some sort of order. So, hi, this is Eugene. Let's introduce ourselves.
Oh, hello everyone. This is Kelsey.
Howdy, this is Auburn.
Hi, this is Frank.
Hi, this is Brian.
And we have Nate. Say hello.
Hello.
This is Nate.
Thanks for joining us. I know you wanted to, or I know you have more thoughts, I guess, on how this timeline of Riversongs would go. So thank you for coming on again.
I think everyone has their own opinions on River's timeline. I'm not alone.
All right, everyone, open up your spreadsheets, set up your pivot tables.
You need a flow chart.
This is, you remember, this is an audio medium.
Get out your diaries.
Well, for me, I'd like to start with the Almost People because the ganger quality is introduced there. So Amy is pregnant on the TARDIS, but then the reading comes up as positive or negative. I think that's the first clue that something weird is going on with Amy's pregnancy.
Yes and no, because I'm thinking when they go to Lake Silencio and they go back to 1969, she tells the doctor that she's pregnant. So to me, that's the catalyst of the storyline. If it's not their wedding night, but that's like because later on, trying to figure it all out, was she pregnant, and is that really Amy? And I'm thinking at that point, it might be.
And me bringing up the Almost People is more specifically for the doppelganger part.
Right, which I think then comes later. But that's the whole thing that I thought, love this idea and trying to follow precisely what we know, because we don't see a lot over these, 10 years, or so that she's been River. So we're trying to figure out actually when all this is. So to me, it's that same one has so many different variations of River because of that, because Amy is pregnant.
And then so from there, we go maybe to A Christmas Carol, which is Amy and Rory's honeymoon.
We don't have to get that personal, do we?
That would have to go.
We're following the pregnancy now.
I'm following. I've done way too much work on this to not say what I've worked on.
I know. We both have it. And it was like, oh yeah, that's part of it, because I didn't even think of it when I think of that episode. That's not the main idea in my episode when I think of it. So that then 1969, and then going back to the end of the gangers.
So Eugene sent us all a viewing list of the way that we should watch.
The list I gave the podcast folks to watch were The Almost People, A Good Man Goes to War, Impossible Astronaut, Day of the Moon, Let's Kill Hitler, Closing Time, The Wedding of Riversong, The Pandorica Opens, Big Bang, The Time of Angels, Flesh and Stone, The Angels Take Manhattan, The Husbands of Riversong, Silence in the Library, Forest of the Dead, and Name of the Doctor, which, does not have The Christmas Carol in this one. Which would go...
I went off an earlier list because I didn't have Closing Time.
Yeah, you probably did. Because I did, as I was watching them, I updated it.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
Watching it, it's like, oh, I forgot this episode had this small little bit on it. And like some of them that you had, it's like, I don't remember anything about this. Oh, it's at the end.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for putting Closing Time on this.
Yeah.
Because I would have not remembered. And it's like, well, that's a critical piece of information.
Yeah.
We could not figure out. Okay, where are closing time?
Oh yeah, I have my notes of what we're
Yes,
or at least what
I'm
I
just
did.
putting a list ahead of time. If people wanted to watch in the order that we had, and then we can add in the different things. Going, this also is important. That just has one little scene or one
I
little.
do have to say, watching them in this order, because I've never watched them in Rivers order before, and I had heard that there were theories or people like fan-made ones, like unofficial timelines of like this is Rivers' chronological timeline for Doctor Who. So I just went off Eugene's, and one thing I realized, especially when you get to Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone, the way that they styled Rivers like hair and makeup and everything, they did a good job of aging her for her timeline versus when she was younger, because obviously they're shooting later episodes later on in the season, things like that. But they did a good job of making her look more mature when she was mature versus when she was younger.
Yeah.
So they had the plan in place by then.
Yeah, like when she first regenerated, she looked totally different from when she was coming out of I forget the name of where Flesh and
Byzantium?
Stone was. I'm sorry?
The Byzantium.
The Byzantium, yeah, when she crawled out of there, like with her hair up in the military outfit and everything. Like that's specifically when I noticed that, okay, they really were aging her appropriately for her timeline.
But they also wanted to bring her back, because in Let's Kill Hitler, she goes, maybe I'll just de-age a little so I can just drive people crazy. So some of the other episodes that I'm later on, I'll look younger. So, I don't know. I thought that it's definitely behind the scenes going, okay, we know you're going to look about all of this stuff, so we're just going to throw this line in. So,
So it's a
we're not going
catch-all.
to be, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great little
It's a
fun.
wink where it's like, yes,
is.
we know. Don't
Reality
spend,
versus
don't
the
spend
story.
podcast episodes trying to explain it.
Well, sometimes that's all you need in a show like that, is just like a nod to something, just
Yeah.
because when you leave something small out, I can't think of an example right now because there are a lot of them in Doctor Who, where all you needed was one line just to make everything just either make sense or just to dismiss it, be like, okay.
Right.
Thank you, because we say that a lot in our episodes.
Like,
We can find a good
Nate,
one.
I had never done this. Always wanted to. Never done it because I thought it was going to be way too much work. But, that's the joys of being on a podcast like this. You get to do these little side adventures.
One thing I do want to mention, as far as following the timeline of River Song was a big arc throughout the entirety of these 2 seasons. And I think it was 2 seasons, right?
I would.
Yeah.
s-
Well,
River?
at least her
No.
identity. Her identity. Yeah. And even in the episodes that were about like her, like say Demon's Run and so forth, she still felt like focusing on her, like the story of River Song was still a backseat to the story of 11 and the Pawns.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because even like at the beginning of this, when we were mentioning like, we were talking about River and so forth, we started talking about Amy and Rory and their adventures. And so we're almost, I want to say that maybe the only episode that really focuses on River and the Doctor is the Husbands of River Song, because there are no companions.
Yeah, I would agree. So that's why this little mission of ours, if you will, it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
I really like this order because it did let you see like how some of those jokes paid off, very quickly. Like when you're watching it in the regular air order, you remember, oh, hello, sweetie. You remember like, certain things, but
Spoilers.
yeah, spoilers. But seeing them all like played in this order where like the payoffs are coming from the earlier episodes and the setups are in the later episodes. No, it is really fun. And they did a good job keeping it going across all the different seasons and different doctors even.
Yeah.
Even just
I
the
would
joke, the must always end in handcuffs, seeing it go in chronological order.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait, so she said it first. Oh no, so he said it first. And then she said it to him, and then he got it from her. It was like a bootstrap thing.
Yeah. Well, going back to episodes
Okay.
that we've listed, I guess you can interchange A Christmas Carol and The Big Bang because of the conception of River Song or Melody Pond in this case. But in The Big Bang, it's the wedding of Amy and Rory from 2010. So this is where the Doctor is removed from existence, and River jumps back to the wedding date of her mom and dad, gives Amy or plants the TARDIS diary so that Amy can remember the Doctor back into existence. So it's weird. It's like that's her conception, maybe, but then she's also there at the same time.
Yeah, she just misses herself in a lot of different scenarios and episodes.
Yeah, and then from there we can go to A Good Man Goes to War, which is where Melody Pond is born on Demon's Run and taken to an orphanage with a Dr. Renfrew, the weirdo that has his mind wiped like for years and years.
I fast forwarded through those scenes.
Well, I think there is one scene where you see a toddler Melody in the orphanage. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple. There's a good chunk with toddler. I mean, older than toddler, but
Then in Impossible Astronaut, we have the toddler Melody in the spacesuit in 1969. She's trapped. And then in Day of the Moon, we see young Melody. Oh, that was the one where we see her in the orphanage. And then she gets sick in New York. We thought it was Chicago, but I think it's New York City. And then she regenerates. We don't see what she regenerates into, but from there, I think she has to find her way from New York to the UK somehow.
Later,
And
we
that's
see
what-
that she regenerated into a toddler because it's like a throwaway
Yeah.
line in Let's Kill Hitler.
yeah, I wish they hadn't put that line in, because how does a toddler, how would Mels in New York City get to Leadworth as a toddler?
And does that work, the timing? If Mels was a toddler at the end of what Day of the Moon, like that was 69?
No.
New
It
York?
was
70?
5 years
Or
later.
70.
Okay.
I
I
thought
think
it was
was it
months.
just months later?
Months.
Oh, so yeah, it was like 1970, and then we meet her as like what, like a 21-year-old?
But she's been with
2000.
Rory and
And Amy for
since
childhood.
elementary school.
So
One
one thing,
another regeneration in there.
Yeah.
That's
maybe,
my headcanon.
maybe or maybe not. So what if she regenerated into a toddler and then was like, say, picked up and adopted, and then they moved overseas? Maybe the toddler was Mel, because they would have had to, or would they had to age her up? Or I'm trying to think of the timelines now, because she would have had to have been the appropriate age to age with Amy and Rory.
Right.
Oh no, because she was still.
No, I think that's right, because if she okay, from New York after Day of the Moon and being inside the astronaut, she gets sick and regenerates
What year was that again?
sometime after 70,
End of 69.
71.
1970. If it's 6 months after the landing, it's January of 1970.
Well, I think we're all forgetting
70.
one important part: the silence and the religion of the silence. So there's found her as a toddler and pushed her over to there. That's how she would get to England.
Awesome.
Or maybe-
Yes.
How else
maybe-
would she?
Maybe Madame Kavarian did it because the Silents are all getting genocidally killed.
Right. I keep wanting to take the
Yeah, that's
Vorkian every
fair.
time I try and say the name, so that's why I didn't.
Every time you trip over yourself and nothing's there, it's the body of a silence.
And because we're going about the whole timeline, what race are they?
Yeah.
Never
we
say.
never learn that because it's
No,
a
it's
religious
just the
order.
religion. Yeah.
And so this race is a big part of that religious order. Or is it one and the same?
Well, and it's also, I can't remember which one, but it may even be closing time, but it's much earlier in River's timeline for us watching where we find out exactly what the Silents are. I mean, they
Right.
say it much earlier, so you're not waiting 12 episodes before you find out. You're getting it in like the 5th episode, and you're like, oh, okay.
And I also want to say that the theories we're just basing them off of the televised episodes. There could be audio dramas, comic books.
There's so many.
So we're just doing episodes of TV episodes, and we're not doing anything else outside of that. So
You know what I didn't realize was left out of the list until last night going to bed and they're not really substantially important, but there were like 5 little shorts
yes,
that 11 and River did.
yes.
The little webisode ones.
First night, last night.
Yeah,
Which often
I
gets-
only.
Eugene lets us watch those, and sometimes he doesn't.
Oh no, we've seen
They
those
might.
episodes
Yeah.
during
Oh, we've
the.
seen
But
those
then,
webisodes?
yes, yeah, like where Queen Victoria, I think, was a fish, and they were trying to get
Yeah.
her back.
Right.
But yeah, I wanted to concentrate just on the televised episodes. Maybe I should have said that up front, but anyway.
There was one short, I forget the name of which one. It might have been like Last Date or something like that, that really pissed me off at the time because it was the one where there were two 11th Doctors, and it was they suggest that they were going to go on a date to Beryllium, and it sounded like that was just River's exit. Like at the time, nothing else was going on with River. I don't think we even saw anything else with River at the time. So I'm like, that's really how they're going to end her run? Just a little 5-minute webisode of, oh, this is going to be sad, it sucks, goodbye. And I was really pissed at the time until finally, years later, we got her actual end with 12.
Yeah.
And they did the throwaway line, you started to bring me to Beryllium a bunch of times, and you always canceled, and I never knew why you always canceled, because he just couldn't do it yet.
That's all you need is that one line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made, yeah.
Because we know from the library that's the last time she had seen this doctor, the doctor.
Side note, I just watched the end of Closing Time, and that is, very
Important.
very pivotal in her timeline. Just the end, just the last 5 minutes.
Yep.
And however she gets to England, I think Melody shows that she can get from Florida to New York within 5 months on her own. Somehow she did that. So yeah, she'd somehow get there. I don't know how. That could be a fun story to.
Spoilers.
So I bring that up because there's that block of time that television-wise, we don't know.
Right.
Because then it picks up from Let's Kill Hitler, where Mels, as I guess elementary school aged girl, is in school with Amy and Rory, and goes what would you say, that high school?
Yes.
Goes all the way up till high school. Well, further than high school.
Yeah.
Further than high school. But they
To
go
jail.
through. But they go through school together. Is
Jail.
kind of what I'm saying.
So do you guys think this one, was that always Amy and Rory's childhood, or was Mel's a part of their childhood only for the time that this whole thing was happening? Amy's pregnancy, this whole, time was, because then later, we have the Amy as a kid without the stars, and Mel's isn't in that. So just curious. I know the timey-wiminess of all of the.
Yeah,
Right.
Amy Without the Stars was an alternative pocket universe that they reset. That was the failing or the imploding universe that Big Bang 2 restored to the original timeline.
Yes, I agree with that. But I kind of take it like with A Christmas Carol, where the Doctor is in both Kazran Sardic's present, or then present, and his past, affecting things that we see them as they are in flux. So that's how I take what's happening with Mels, is that until we get to that point, there is no Mels. And then once stuff starts to happen, the timeline starts to inject memories into this present Amy that weren't there before, because her timeline is then being affected.
Depending, because she had already mentioned Mels before this in her timeline. So yes,
When?
it could have gone back.
Are you sure?
When she was growing up with a friend, and that's why she named Melody Mels.
No, but she didn't do it in any previous episodes.
Okay.
See, and that's the thing that really, that's the River Song thing that pisses me off, is that we got this huge character that was so important to both of them, and we had never they'd never mentioned her before. That was kind of the one.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I can say I agree with that, because it does piss me off. However, Amy did neglect to mention that she was about to get married and or Rory at all for a number of episodes. So
Yeah.
there's kind of a track record with it.
Okay. We also didn't know she liked Romans.
Until we saw her plethora of history books. But yeah, that's how I take it. Things are changing, so then they retroactively affect Amy's timeline as they happen. Going back to Let's Kill Hitler, after we get Mels in school, she then regenerates into the actress Alex Kingston, or the River Song physical embodiment that we know her better as. but at that time she is a programmed assassin to kill the Doctor. So that's why she was sort of embedded, if to use the topical terms, embedded with Amy and Rory because they are companions of the Doctor, and that is the way for Madame Kovarian to get close to the Doctor to get an assassin to kill the Doctor. But then that doesn't work out. River Song gives up her regenerations to then save the Doctor, and then we go to
That scene now, looking back because of what has transpired in the Doctor Who universe, really pisses me off because she didn't have to do it. Because the unearthly child changed that.
Oh, now don't go
No,
there.
but it's like I don't
No,
like the unearthly child. I don't like the idea of
You're
it.
talking of the
It's
timeless
part of that.
child,
The timeless child,
not the
Right.
unearthly child.
Correct. Sorry, the timeless child.
You could have argued that on Trenzalore when Clara was whispering to the crack for them to save the Doctor for additional regenerations also. So,
Agreed.
but that's a whole other podcast.
Right.
Also in Let's Kill Hitler, the episode, there is a Tesselecta, which is a bunch of smaller humans posing as a full-size human in sort of a Power Ranger-y, Voltron-y mech suit.
Like an Edgar suit.
Yes. Okay, so from there, we go to closing time, the very end, which we've mentioned, where I think she's studying at at a university, and that's when Madame Kovarian and the alien silence people start to program her to kill the Doctor as adult River Song.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is where she gets put into the astronaut suit.
Where was the
Again.
scene? That's another end scene that she goes to become an archaeologist, start her
It
school.
is in Impossible Astronaut, because at the
Okay.
very end, she wants to study archaeology at the Luna University in 5123.
She's looking for a good man.
Okay.
Oh, I thought, wait,
And
the end of what?
Impossible Astronaut. It's a tag scene.
Oh,
And then let's go from closing time to the wedding of River Song, where she can't kill the Doctor at Lake Silencio, and then time gets messed up and everything happens at once. So that's where you have like blimps and there's the secret
Area 52.
in the pyramids.
Mhm.
And
The
then
American
everybody's-
pyramids.
Yeah.
Yes.
And everybody's wearing eye patches, or a bunch of people, and Amy and Rory aren't together. So this is where time is just really messed up and everything's happening at once. But to kind of fix this, the Doctor marries River Song, and we think for the first time watching this that he leans over, tells her his name, but really he's telling her that he's going to fake his own death and that he's okay, because the scene shows that it goes into his eye, and then you see that this is a Tesselecta and that he's inside that mech suit thing.
Boo, cheat. Cheat.
oh, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. I like it. I think it's cool. I also like the idea that like he like I'm sorry. So I like this idea of, this young River Song thinks that she's like figure out a way to keep the Doctor alive, but like she basically interrupted his plan. Like he had a plan. He had it taken care of. It was covered. It's fine. And so to like get her, I don't know, he's like, okay, he like marries her so that he can like move on with his plan. I don't know. The first time when I watched Let's Kill Hitler, I hated it. And I don't know why. But like watching in this order, I loved it. Like it was so much easier to believe in this Melody Pond,
But if we're really doing River Song timeline, I think that the wedding of River Song should be before the Impossible Astronaut.
Yes.
Because the way that they do it in their timeline is to make us think it's the little girl, so that's the storyline that we're supposed to be following. But it wasn't. River was down there as an adult River before that. That was never the little girl in that suit. So trying to follow her timeline, she fought the first time not to kill the Doctor.
Well, a
And
couple of
then-
these,
Go ahead.
like there are several, or a handful, I should say, of these episodes. If you want to really follow her timeline fully, then you would have to watch some of them twice to
Yes.
get the adult,
Right.
and like the child, and then the adult versions of them. Unless you just keep a flowchart in your head while you're watching them, like, okay, this is going to be a she comes back in this order after this and so forth. But yeah, some of them are slightly interchangeable because of that.
Or yeah, like you said, we have to revisit them twice
Yeah.
or 3 times.
Yeah, and I could argue that the child version of those episodes, you could just watch in clips, and then watching the adult one would be the full playthrough of the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, because we have baby melody and older river song in the same episode. So how do you reconcile that?
Well, she was also in the same episodes as when she was a young, 6, 7-year-old, but they never actually met either in those episodes, same as this. They didn't actually meet.
I do have to say that a good man goes to war really redefines the term of like babies going goo goo.
Oh gosh.
Like literally.
Literally, yeah.
Okay, now we have 2 of them. Eugene.
Okay, so A Good Man Goes to War. We could come back to that episode. This is where River tells Amy and Rory who she really is. Like, which is again weird because she's saying, look at the thing, read what it says, and then she's like, oh, it doesn't work. You can't anyway.
Well, the doctor could read it because it looked, how I saw it this time is that the doctor wrote her name on there. So that what we had seen was her name. And California never translates because it never has.
So yeah, that's where she tells her parents who she is, and that's where we find out about all of that. And then going back to Impossible Astronaut, this is mentioned earlier. At the end, River wants to study archaeology at the Luna University. And then in the Pandorica opens, River gets the vortex manipulator from Dorium. Well,
some people out there think that after you watch A Good Man Goes to War again for adult River song, then that's when Companion River had the Impossible Astronaut and Day of the Moon adventure. It's like the Wedding of River song, and then you have the Impossible Astronaut and Day of the Moon. It's River in the astronaut suit killing the doctor, and then then she did A Good Man Goes to War. And then that's when some people have theorized that that's when she shows up with her little blue invitation and does that whole adventure all over again.
Yeah, so again, recognizing that there is this part of River Song's timeline that you could do whatever because timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, but we're doing what we can.
But also, I mean, because of the way they filmed it, I don't think Alex knew what was going on yet in some of it. But looking at it, River missed, and she was close to the astronaut. So
you're talking about the shot.
About with the Impossible Astronaut, she took out her revolver and shot until there's no more bullets and missed. And it's
in the
had
lake.
to have been unintentional. We have seen River fight rolling around, shooting at all individually who she doesn't want. So she is an excellent shot. So
I never assumed that she missed. I assumed that it just didn't phase it. I always assumed that whatever, because it was they even went over it with when they're looking at the suit and saying there's like 12 different types of alien technology in here. I don't think that suit would have been damaged by a normal gun.
Well, is that after Amy shot her? Amy shot the astronaut.
It wasn't after
the crack in the.
But then it had all that technology.
God, I love this.
But I'm thinking, but the spacesuit.
You could say that she intentionally missed because she knew that was her in this.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, that's how I always thought it. I
could say either way, though.
Yeah, I totally could too. Because again, I do some headcanon. It's like, I don't want River, the River that shoots at the astronaut. I don't want that River to remember what's going on. I never have. And I understand that she says later on, oh, I remember. I had to pretend. But the doctor says, look at you over there, saying to the River in the suit, look at you over there who probably doesn't remember. And so my brain goes that way because it's such an emotional moment for all the characters that if you watch it and you think that River knows exactly what is going to happen beforehand, I mean, you're going all the way back to the diner where she slaps him and says, this is cold even for you. For me, it's like, no, she doesn't remember. I don't know why she doesn't remember. Maybe she's looking at the silence the whole time. I don't know. But in my brain, I can't have River knowing it. So when she shoots at the astronaut, she's hitting the suit and it's just not affecting anything.
Well, I'd like to.
End scene.
Yeah, no, that's great, Brian. I'm right there with you. Like, I like that line was written in for the doctor to say, "You look at you over there, you probably don't even remember why." But then later it doesn't hold up because she does know that she's in prison for killing the doctor. So.
She says she remembers. Right. She says she actually remembers being on that beach, faking it. So it's Yeah.
So in to do sort of a, what do you call it?
Wibbly wobbly.
Devil's advocate of how am I going to put this? It's just so much going on in my brain because what's going on, because like you have older River on the beach enjoying a picnic, pretending to enjoy the picnic, and you have younger River in the astronaut suit going to shoot the doctor. And originally we thought that there was a young girl in there. And then so when Amy shoots the astronaut suit with the young girl in it, that is older technology because it's multiple sources of technology for this suit. So that's why you can explain that there's a visor crack there. But then once it's older River inside the astronaut suit, the technology is updated so that while the older River is then shooting at the younger River in the updated astronaut suit, she knows that earthly bullets will not do anything to that newer, updated technology.
You could also argue that with the child one, the visor was open, so maybe the glass wasn't reinforced. I don't know.
Like the sun shield wasn't up, or was up,
wasn't
not down. Yeah,
correct.
Because there's two visors. There's the sun blocker and then the regular clear.
If you're well, for the younger girl, for River, her face just sticks out.
True.
Yeah, there was no glass there.
Yeah.
But the suit also repairs itself and like keeps the inhabitant alive.
Yes.
So yeah, even if she did shoot her younger self, it probably would have fixed it. Bullet wound.
See, so many things that can happen.
Yeah, and it can be explained the way that Eugene did. Same with Mels. It's like, well, she could have shot, but she said something right at the end of getting all the bullets. So she had an empty gun. She said some kind of like, well, that's it then, or all right then, or something where, to me, I took it as she didn't affect the astronaut.
Yeah, that's how I took it. And now you can retroactively saying, okay, the circle's closed, kind of a thing.
And I think, also her slapping is possibly going, you're making me do this all over again. So that's where she could be so pissed. How dare you, this is cold. I have to live through this the other way. But you just have to go with it on some. This one seems like it's more of just our linear way of doing things in this world.
Wait, so you're saying there's another way to do this, Frank?
Yeah, from what I understand. But that's why for me, it's like she missed. So I just remember that first episode going, that doesn't seem right that River would miss the first time you watch it.
Okay. So I saw you looking it up.
Yeah, so River says after shooting, she says, "Of course not." And I do hear at least one ricochet. So there's nothing else in the middle of that lake, so she had to have hit the astronaut at least once.
Thank you. Okay.
And Frank, because I remember somebody brought this up, that I think it was maybe Brian or Allburn that said River's a good shot, and I think we saw that if you're watching it in this order earlier, because it's in the Wedding of River song, where she just shoots all the silence without even looking, and then turns to Rory, him knowing that that's her dad and that's his daughter. And then so in here, when we go back to Impossible Astronaut, if you watch it in that order, it's like, yeah, she wouldn't have missed.
And even moving
that
forward,
was Day of the Moon, where she turns around.
Don't tell the doctor, he gets ever so cross.
Right. And that's where I think Amy was switched.
I do too.
Because she was taken by the silence from the area, and because she had the thing in her hand, and Rory was able to listen to what's going on now, it became a transmission. So she at that point is when I think they switched her.
So I seen it argued because in the orphanage she had already seen the glass slide, and the glass
Okay.
yeah,
That's true.
before she walked in, and that's usually when they're checking on her. I'd seen it argued that they actually abducted her in the bathroom at the White House.
Ah, never thought about that.
Yeah, I thought about that too, but
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out when she was pregnant, when she wasn't, when that happened.
Yeah, that's all wibbly wobbly too, but
Well,
because
but
of that little window thing, that's what makes me think she had to have been abducted.
Right.
It would make sense there. However, the window thing makes it seem like it was prior to that.
Yeah, you just say, Frank, you're wrong. Totally. This has the window thing. I got it. No, because
No.
that is
because that always
perfect
works
point.
for me.
That was a wonderful point. I got that. I've totally just blanked on that.
No,
We were
Brian,
talking
you
about
need a
theory,
window,
and then I was
Brian.
like, shit.
I don't know. I had a question about that window sliding thing happening before she goes into Melody Pond's childhood bedroom. But I am going to say that she still got abducted in that room. Like,
Sorry,
you're
which
telling
room?
me that
Which room?
the childhood at the orphanage.
Orphanage. Okay.
Where we see Melody Pond's childhood bedroom at the orphanage.
Before that, she sees all the hanging silence.
Like bats.
And it's there
Right.
for a while. So in there
We
could
thought
also
that-
be,
Yeah. We
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that could be argued. Okay.
Because is that the first sliding door in the season?
Was after that.
Was
After
was
the
it the
hanging
one we
door,
see in
after
this
the hanging.
episode? Yeah.
I think
But-
so for her.
Matt, the Kevorkian?
Yeah.
Kovarian.
Kavarian?
Madam Kavari.
She says something to the effect of she's still drugged. So it's like they
She's
just
still-
got
Oh,
her.
I think she's still dreaming.
Yeah, or like the drugs, like they just got her into the room and it was checking like she's still knocked out from the drugs that they abducted her with.
Okay, that's fair.
The first room she was in with all the hanging ones works for me. I can say it until I go through this again.
Well, I think it would have been that room. However, plot point wise, it made more sense just to leave the node, whatever you want to call it, in the other room.
Oh yeah.
See, I
But
think
watching it also, when she was like, it's so dark, knowing everything going back in this, it made it sound like it wasn't the room that they found her in with the silence and that closing time technology or whatever it was. It made it sound like she was in that capsule under observation, which means also if they didn't have any technology for accelerated like pregnancy or anything, they had Amy for at least 6 months, because at most she would, without showing, because she wasn't showing at that time, she would have been pregnant for what, maybe like at most 3 months, I guess.
There is one quick line when they're in the diner and Amy says something about how the doctor's aged. And he's like, well, you didn't have to mention it. You put on a couple pounds. I didn't mention that.
Yeah.
And on the rewatching, I always laughed going, for me, that was the first foreshadowing.
Oh, good.
Okay, that's fair. Okay,
Yeah,
I like that.
Well, I didn't catch that. That's
and the whole morning sickness of why she went to the restroom and all that.
Yeah.
Right.
Then you get queasy when you see them. It's like, well, no, that's the different thing that's going on.
Well, that's
She
usually
was
just
pregnant at that time.
morning sickness. I think is usually just first trimester anyway. I think, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since we've had a kid.
In Hollywood stories, yeah, it's just you're pregnant. Anytime. It's the shorthand for she's pregnant. Yeah.
All right. So going back to the Pandorica opens, this is where River gets the vortex manipulator from Dorian, which is I think Captain Jack's old vortex manipulator, and then gets the Van Gogh painting of the TARDIS exploding. And
Well, we hope it's not Jack. We know it's a handsome time agent, but
That's
it was
right.
still on the wrist of the time agent.
It
They
would
said-
grow back.
We said off the wrist. Oh, that's true. That's
It would
true.
grow back. The
Fair.
guy got
Okay.
blown to smithereens and still regenerated.
Yeah, that was encasing his parts in concrete. Yeah, I remember all that.
Yeah. So yeah,
Going
his
to
hand would grow back.
Torchwood.
And then this is where she also starts to write the coordinates on the cliff at the dawn of time, if we remember
I
that.
love that. You wouldn't answer your phone.
And then from there we can go back to the Big Bang, which I mentioned older River then gives the diary, the TARDIS diary, to Amy to remember the Doctor back into existence. And then this is where I'm going to put Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone, because it's later in River's chronological timeline. So this is now in the 51st century, like around the same time that she got her archaeology degree at Luna University. And then she also produces, or she says that she has pictures of all your faces, meaning all your faces to the Doctor, except
No.
I guess 12, because she doesn't recognize 12 from the Husbands of River Song.
She only knew the oldest that she knew him to was up to 11, until Husbands.
Okay, so then that fits where I'm placing these, because it's later. Because then after that, she crawls out of the Byzantium, and in the Wedding of River Song. So yeah, going back to crawling out of the Byzantium in the Time of Angels, Flesh and Stone. From there, that river then goes into the end of the Wedding of River Song to comfort Amy, because Amy and Rory think that the Doctor is dead, and so older River, jumps to that timeline, talks to her mom and dad, and says that the Doctor is okay, and reveals to both of them what the Doctor whispered and showed in the wedding ceremony, if you will.
Or said, because we get it from Rory's point of view at that point. Where
Yeah,
they're just
because
jumping up and down. So
right, because they're celebrating in, like, it looks like their backyard, and then Rory comes home from work and sees them celebrating. He's like, "What's going on?" So
and then
yeah.
he says, "Are you sure?"
That's a nice little I really enjoyed that little button, and especially because the idea that River could have a bit of a relationship with Amy and Rory as like the familial, unit that they never got to be. And so there's plenty of time, like we always talk about the Doctor and his companions do other adventures while we're not watching, that aren't
Mhm.
televised. Like I hope that there is plenty of like family dinners and, time spent together that we don't see with River. And
Yeah, I agree.
and
And also,
go ahead.
no, go ahead, Frank. Go ahead. No.
Another confusing part of this. Sorry to bring this up. She's not a doctor yet, though she did graduate before going to kill the Doctor in the spacesuit. She was a doctor, but coming out of the Byzantium, she's not a doctor yet.
No, she is a doctor. She's not a professor.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Because also when you're watching it, you go with, no, she already knows. No, she doesn't. I'm watching the timeline on the screen, and it's like, wait, stop.
And then in the events of the Wedding of River Song, when they reset time to the proper timeline, is this where the Doctor then erases the records of himself? No. When does the Doctor do that?
He mentions with Dorian that he had gotten too big,
Yeah.
Yes.
and everybody's going to think he's dead.
I don't
Erasing.
I don't remember him erasing records of himself.
That early.
I
no.
mean, unless I missed something. The only time I remember it was implied that he was erasing himself from time was in which was unrelated to River, which was Nightmare in Silver, when he was going up against Mr. Clever.
But
And
in
well,
Angels Take Manhattan, doesn't she say she was released because
so that's why I bring that up, because she gets pardoned, because she is put in prison for killing the Doctor, quote unquote, because that's what happens at Lake Silencio. And so by the time we get to the Angels Take Manhattan, she's pardoned, because in Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone, she is with the bishop, like you need to watch this prisoner because she has killed a very important man or something.
right?
And then by the time we get to Angels Take Manhattan, she's then pardoned because the Doctor doesn't exist, so she's being put into prison for killing somebody that doesn't exist. That's why I bring that up.
Right.
Okay.
And see, the reason I asked that question is because I remember it from other Doctors, not specifically 11.
Oh yeah, the Ninth Doctor did it. The
Yeah,
Ninth
and
Doctor
so,
gave a CD to Mickey and said,
so I'm just wondering, like you said, he mentions to Dorian, I think I got too big. I'm just thinking, like, the Doctor got too big twice and had to do it, had to erase himself twice.
yeah.
I think, yeah, but
Okay.
the Pandora Cove and Big Bang, I mean, you had all those different races coming together just to
Put him in a box.
Yeah. So, yeah, he needed to reset a little bit. But we see that with the Doctor like you said, multiple times. Would they
Yeah.
do that in the previous, like in Classic Who? But I don't think they
No,
were
I don't
really
think
like
so.
acknowledged.
No.
Like he would work with UNIT, he would work with the government.
Yeah.
He wouldn't
Yeah.
be like this extra
No.
judicial.
No, and a lot of stuff in Classic Who would happen off planet, so it wasn't like it was affecting things on Earth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they didn't have as many like, London being destroyed every Christmas.
Right.
Classic Who.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
No, they kind of did. I mean, there were
But every Christmas is what he's saying.
no, but
Some things, but not like it is today, where
Yeah.
like it's an alternate kind of universe that is inhabited.
Oh my goodness, guys. So if this is, sorry, I'm just still like reeling from this timey-wiminess of their two timelines. The wedding of River Song puts her in prison, but also frees her from prison. Like, what?
I mean, I guess you could argue the Big Bang freed her also because he had to be remembered back into existence. So did he actually die? I don't know.
That's true. Because the Kraken, yeah. Again,
The angels,
yeah, go ahead.
but if Angels, Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone is after the Big Bang, she's still incarcerated. So I don't know.
So see, that's why I'm asking this question.
Wait, what was the question?
It's okay. It's not. It seems like it doesn't happen for 11 like I wanted it to happen. As far as like what Brian mentioned, where the Ninth Doctor gives Mickey a CD to physically erase memories of himself. So yeah, it's just a question I had.
This is all starting to sound like an episode of Three's Company. Because it all started with a misunderstanding that the Doctor was in the TARDIS when it exploded. So they're trying to put him, but no, River was in the TARDIS when it was exploded. Because all the aliens are getting together to put him in the Pandorica, because he's the only one who could fly the TARDIS, which is going to explode, causing all this disaster. Oh, it was River we should have put in there. That would have changed everything.
But granted, again, it only happened because they lured him to the Pandorica.
they created the situation.
It's the
Yeah.
whole Bootstrap.
Predestination.
Bootstrap kind of idea. They would have done it if it exploded, but I don't think it would have exploded if they didn't do that, kind of thing.
Okay.
It did remind me of how devoted Rory was to Amy. Especially watching him in this order, something about it, watching him in this order, I'm just like, damn, he was a badass for her. Sorry, I just but like just how many people did he punch? Man, he stabbed the Cyberman, he knocked out Hitler, he punched the Doctor. Yeah, he was kind of vicious.
This order is a nice, like, condensed story of Rory and Amy because we end up in Angels Take Manhattan where we had to say goodbye to them. But it just, I remember watching this, in real time, and like I was, as much as I love the Pawns, I was over them. I was ready for something new, but like. I actually watched all of Angels in Manhattan. I did not skip through any of it. I was surprised. And what a delightful little episode.
I was gonna originally go through the timeline and be like, I'm just gonna skip through it. I'm just gonna watch and like clip through it. I just want to refresh myself. I ended up watching them all, and I was just like, this isn't even necessarily about River. I just like, as I'm watching it, I'm just like, man, I forgot, like, it's been a while since we've had new episodes. New episodes seem to be feigning more and more as the show progresses, unfortunately. I still love the show, but, like, I just like, damn, wow, I really do love this show.
Yeah.
There's like a spark to it.
It's just, I think it's unfortunate because, like, this order works better, like we've all expressed. I just, I don't know. There's something about the Air Order release.
There was another side effect, I guess you would say, the side effect, side story. But there was another thing that put time into perspective. Watching it in this order was it accidentally put the Doctor's time in order too. in
I didn't
regards
think about that.
Well, at one point it puts the Doctor's time in order because he's going back, at the end of Big Bang, he's being forgotten. His timeline's unraveling. He's erasing. He visits Amy and tells her to remember what he said when she was like 8 or whatever. And then after that, we watch Time of Angels.
I remember when that came out, and I was thinking, was that just a mistake?
Right, yeah.
They put in a new scene, they pulled it where his sleeves were up rather than down. Like he just left and now his sleeves are up. I remember
that all had to have been that all had to have been intentional, correct? Because he was the angels took his coat, and it wasn't just the sleeves up. He was wearing his coat and everything too in that moment, and his hair was shaggier.
But and so when we did see that, it's like they put that in all the way back, knowing this. So that is one really good thing about the way Britain does TV, where they film it all before airing it, because they were able to do it. I don't know when they had planned that to go in, when they shot that, so they could put it in. So that was, after we found out that they actually did that, I think all of us were just blown away going, that was perfect. That was wonderful.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Like, thank you. That was awesome.
All right, from there, I have The Husbands of River Song, which is the time that she makes it to Beryllium with the 12th Doctor and spends the next 24 years, which is one night there. And she also gets the screwdriver, the what we call that then, future screwdriver, modified
10, yeah, something like that,
or actually 9, modified 9 screwdriver,
9 or 10 depending on the color. Yeah
Right. It must have been the 10th, 9th, and the 10th, because River says, or the Doctor says it's the same one. So I don't know how to interpret that as being basically it's the same software with different hardware like they've done in the past, or no, this is the same hardware one that I have because 11 changed it. So,
or 12 changed it, right?
Well, 11's was different.
11's was different, then 12 got a different one too.
Sorry, I thought Frank, I thought you mentioned that you were saying he got
that
9 and 10s.
I used too many pronouns. 12 gave it to River on Delirium, and in the library, 10 said this is the same one. Not just like she has her own or created. There's a common core between those. So that's why I think it was because you had said refitted or whatever, and I think it was refitted 10.
It could have been it could have been the broken bits of the 10th Doctor when 11 fizzed it out in the 11th hour.
Ah, yes. Yeah. And then, okay, so speaking of that screwdriver, we see it in its proper form or usage in Silence in the Library and Forest of the Dead all the way back in season 4 with the 10th Doctor. And this is, I guess, River Song's physical death.
Could I just say something about the Husbands of River Song real quick? For this River, she thinks that he only has 12 regenerations,
right.
So right?
Because and she has the wallet that has all pictures of all 12.
Right. But it's not just that her wallet only goes up to 11th, but like at the end of Matt Smith's run as the Doctor, did something happen that like fixed the whole regeneration issue?
Cycle? He got a new cycle.
Yeah. But River wouldn't have known that. So like,
oh yeah, it's true.
So it was just kind of fun to experience that with her, because it's not that she doesn't have the picture of him. It's just like in her mind, there's no way.
Yeah.
That this is the
pictures
new face
of his
the
entire
Doctor.
life.
He can't have a new face.
Yeah. I never thought of that. Pictures of his entire life. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Well, also River mentions the Byzantium in Silence in the Library. So this was it.
No, it's great. She has the diary and she's like doing the thing right away with the Doctor, trying to understand where they're at. Like such a clever.
The fish.
Well, I know she names the Byzantium in particular in Silence in the Library, but yeah, that's great to have that set up like right there. I mean, yeah, real smart.
I mean, if anything, Moffat is consistent with River Song as far as who she is. Like the characterization.
River knew the 14th Doctor, not the 10th. So remember when she first meets the 10th? She says, she's looking at him. And then after a little while, she's like, oh my God, you're so young. That's because she had adventures with Tennant's second doctor. That's how I do it in my head. So when she was traveling around with the doctor, it's the only time she met 10 was in the library, but she knew about him. And so she was running around with the 14th. So when she first got to the library, she thought it was the 14th. And then she realizes, oh my God, you're younger, you're the 10th. So that's how the doctor doesn't recognize her.
But 14 only went around with Donna, and after that he becomes the Valyard, because that's the only way that makes sense. I'm just kidding. I'm still gonna stick with that. He's gonna be the Valyard. He better be.
I don't know what that is.
Classic Who. But that's just my headcanon, where it's like Jodie regenerates into David, and he gets back into the TARDIS, and instead of going straight to Donna, he has a whole bunch of adventures and meets up with River in those adventures along the way. So, and that explains.
He met Davros before going to Donna, right?
Yes, you're right. He met Davros.
I always took it as her looking not into his face in that moment, but into his soul.
Yeah,
and
I agree too.
Realizing that it, like, regardless of face, once you look into their soul, like I want to say it might have been a classic Who thing where like a Time Lord knows another Time Lord, just almost not automatically, but like once they focus on it. I always thought that in that moment, that's when she realized, oh, you are the same person. You're the younger version. And maybe after that, because Husbands of River Song, she would have had his picture, unless she was just messing with him again because she knew that she couldn't say anything.
No,
I don't know.
But even with the faces, according to a lot of the big fish and other things, she's had interactions with other doctors.
All of them.
She alters their memory because she can't mess up the timeline. So other previous doctors don't remember her. But so that's why I'm thinking, agree with you that it's when you're looking in the eyes, you see that the doctor's younger. It's not the face itself. And so she knew 14. So before she really looked at him, it's like, yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Hello. And then, oh my gosh, you're not the same. You really are that much younger, looking in the eyes. She wasn't really paying attention too much to me, to back up Brian's headcanon.
It was also dark.
It wasn't just the physical that they're the same person, but it wasn't until she really looked going, oh, you're not nearly as old as 14 was.
Clara does it too with the War
Doctor.
Doctor.
They do age at certain points. I mean, they're not always that same age. They do.
Clara does it with the War Doctor too. She's like, right. It's new for you because you're so young. Right. She looks, looking at the War Doctor, that the War Doctor is younger than Matt Smith. So it's like, you can tell.
So we think you're right, Nate, but it wasn't just because of the physical face. I
totally agree too, but it's just one of those, I wish they had a thrown away line, where it just, yeah. So, but it just kind of for me, in my brain, it just smooths things over a little bit.
Just realizing, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I would say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if you count the two-parter, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's like if you count the two-parter, like end of time, like finale and all that stuff, it's like 10 episodes later that you get in between the introduction of River and her finally coming back for her first appearance in series 5 of Time of the Angels.
What? Huh? Say that again.
Oh, just saying how much space that we had in chronological television order from her first appearance to when she finally shows up for the first time again in Doctor Who. Because it's not till season 5, episode 4 that she shows up again.
With Time of Angels, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So it was a long while before we ever saw her again.
Right.
A decent while, yeah.
So yeah, the Forest of the Dead is where the physical embodiment of River Song is. That's the end of that story. But then we get Name of the Doctor, in which there is a dream conference call with the Paternoster gang. And this is, we get River back because at the end of Forest of the Dead, River is uploaded to the mainframe. The
Ow.
Yeah. the library's mainframe. And then Vastra is able, or I think it's Vastra that starts the conference call.
Yeah, it
She's
is.
able to, she gets everybody that's able to help, and then not Alex, River tells Vastra the coordinates to the Doctor's tomb, and I think that's the last in televised episodes of River Song's appearance so far.
This again, oh my God, this was another one where I was so confused. Why at this point for the doctor and the name of the doctor, why is he referring to River as an ex or kind of like an ex? And why is it not someone that he's going off and having adventures with? Like it didn't really.
At the end of the episode, after Clara goes through the time stream, the Doctor wants to go in and save Clara. And Rivers are yelling at him, you can't do this, you have to go on. And he's ignoring her the whole time. And then she goes to slap him and he catches her arm. And that's when she's like, how can this happen? When did you see me? How can you interact with me? He goes, I've always seen you. So he has known for a while that she has come somehow to visit him psychically, somehow connected. Because I'm always seeing you, you're always with me. So he somehow, that's how I've seen from what he said, his point of view. He knows that he's not going to have any more adventures with her in his feeling of timeline. Forget about 12 at this point. But for him, because now she's showing up as an image, not as a person.
And he's like really,
and he's not ready to, he doesn't want to say goodbye. So he's ignoring her because he doesn't want to confront and have to say that final goodbye. That's how I think that's how I kind of thought it. Yes, there's all this, what timeline are they in? He can't handle it. He goes, why did you say it? He goes, I'd have to say goodbye. She goes, I can handle it. And he said, I can't. So to me, it's like he's seen her before, and it's like, I don't know, he's a doctor, maybe he knows time better now that he's seen her this way. She's already been downloaded and everything, so he knows at that point in meeting with her, since they're going kind of backwards after she has passed away and is just the memory.
Well, also, you're talking about his explanations to Clara, right? Like as far as like her talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, this is River was there talking to him.
no, but like as far as him referring to, oh, she was kind of like an ex or blah blah, being
yeah.
very vague. But
okay.
But he's kind of always been like that with companions. Like, oh yeah, she was this, oh, who was Rose? Oh, just someone I traveled with. What happened to them? Oh, they're gone now. Like everything's always like vague generalizations, not wanting to admit to like failure or loss or anything. Just like, let's just miss the topic and move on.
But with River, they keep re-meeting.
Well,
right. But
Nate,
that makes sense. And I somewhat agree, but it's in this one, what I'm hearing with how did he know so specifically that they're not going to meet? And the way that he said it seemed like it was, we're not meeting again. But I can also see, Nate's true because he has said it a lot. And I'm thinking maybe he's, oh, well, they might have met at one point, depending on how the writers wanted to go. And it's just like, yeah, well, that's why I said sort of X. Because, he would have had a different line. So I didn't really take it before Nate's, but thank you. I like that idea. But to me, because he turned to her and talked to her, it seemed my idea that he's done that and knows that they will not meet again.
If you want, you could also look at it as he knew it was his final goodbye because he was going to slip into his time stream and everybody expected him to die. So it's like, from his point of view, well, from both their point of views, it's like, well, in 10 minutes, you're going to be dead. And I'm already dead, so we're not going to see each other again. And then he gets out of it.
Now it's just sad.
I said if you wanted to look at it that way, I don't.
So yeah, those are the last of the episodes that I have because we didn't do any Big Finish audio comic books or books. There's a whole series of Big Finish audio with just her. So I think we tackled it pretty well. I would, yeah.
Yes, hopefully if you're listening, you have watched this order as well. But rarely do you get to watch a bunch of episodes at once unless you're like binging a season or something. So like to be given a list like this and be like, actually watch the episodes in this order was just a real treat. It was really nice to revisit these episodes with a different context in mind, with a different thing that we're tracking, because then like Nate, we just end up watching the episode. We're not even watching it to like focus on River's timeline. We're just enjoying the episode again.
Yeah, there's the other way of just like finding new friends and it's like, hey, let's hang out today and be like, surprise, we're watching Doctor Who. I'm gonna explain all this to you
We're watching River's timeline.
in chronological order. You've never seen anything before, but let's go.
Trial by fire.
Eugene,
Yeah.
I don't know if you have looked at this, but did Moffat write every single River episode?
I want to say yes,
I
because
want to say yes too.
that was his baby, if you will,
Yeah,
his creation.
he didn't let anybody else.
And I didn't notice until looking at the timeline, I didn't realize how many two-parters she was involved in.
Yeah. I wonder if that was also one way to secure Alex, her schedule.
Oh, that's a good point.
Maybe, but it could have been also a way to secure her storyline as well.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, guys. Here's an episode. Oh, well. No, he wasn't the main writer on this one, but he's
Which one?
Closing time. Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense because of the
makes
end.
Yes. He wrote the button.
Okay.
Has there been any like news or talk of her coming back now that Moffat's back?
No, Davies.
No.
Davies is back. Oh. Will Moffat come back next? Will we just
Does he
continue the
still
cycle
write
over?
Does he still write episodes, Moffat?
Yes.
A little bit. Yeah, he
Yeah.
wrote Boom, and then did he write another one or no?
The Christmas.
He
write the Christmas
he
one?
wrote the Christmas special.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
And the landmine episode.
that was Boom.
Of course he wrote.
So there is that little possibility everybody's still around. And I know Alex said that she'd be, having fun and looking forward to working with 14 or 15. But
I mean, that weapons
nothing
company keeps coming up. Maybe
Right.
she'll be an interface for the weapons company for the Doctor at some point.
that would be awesome.
I mean, in all honesty, that's really possible.
Wow.
Wouldn't it suck if like she was an interface for I forget the name of the Vashgard or whatever that weapons company is.
Yeah, the
What
one
if
that
it was
reminds me of
that-
the Vanguard.
Vanguard.
Yeah, and he's like, how are you here? Your upload to the library is like, a library database was purchased by we'll say Vanguard in 5021.
Villengard.
Villengard, yeah.
Vanguard. Oh.
That's
Appropriate.
I'm just thinking that idea. It's like, oh yeah, oh dear God, please don't do that.
And if you do it well, because that could work so well.
Yeah, I mean, like it could be like a cold just computer database, and then it eventually evolves into River and 15 actually like having a connection together, and then him extracting her from that database and securing her in like, I don't know, some better place, or
TARDIS.
even the TARDIS. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's that one that is not canon, the Scream of Shalka, where the Master is sort of like a companion in the TARDIS with the Doctor. This is before Eccleston was officially the Ninth Doctor. This was the Ninth Doctor. It was like flash webisodes. So
They showed his face in Rogue.
that's true. They did. Yeah.
Mhm. So I don't know what they're doing with that.
Yeah. But that reminds me of what you were saying. Like the Master, like I knew was a villain, was just like there in the TARDIS. It was just very odd.
Oh. Ooh. The question that I had was, when
Doctor
does
Who?
Dr. Song know the Doctor's name? I was trying to figure that out, and there are two basic ideas that people have been putting around that are the most solid, and I go for one other than the other. But I just want to know, did anybody else think about that or try and find it?
She does.
I think
And
I think
inside
Frank,
into
you
the
meant to
library.
say. I think you, Frank, you meant to say, when does she know the Doctor's name?
Oh, and I say why?
Yeah.
Oh, I meant
Or
to say how and
you-
I
where.
think I know.
Because if we know how and where, they can tell you when and why.
Ooh.
I think she knows, but I don't think he ever told her.
He didn't on screen, so there's.
I don't think he needed
so
to.
she found out just on
I
her
don't
own?
think she needed to.
She's that good.
No.
She
But-
inherently knows Gallifreyan, and it was on his bassinet.
That's a third theory that I did not hear, because I thought since he read it, that was her name that he had put on there.
No, I don't think he put her name
Melody
on
Pond.
there. I think that was his name on there because it looked like it was aged as well. I always assumed that that was always his name on the bassinet.
Then how did he
or the
come to
cradle or whatever you
conclusion
want to
that
call
it
it?
was Melanie? How did he get that it was Melanie?
The leaf.
The prayer
leaf
leaf.
clock thing. He's looking at the leaf.
But they didn't show him looking at the
Well,
leaf.
He
I
looks
don't think
down
he
into the
needed to,
cot.
but she was also saying, "I am telling you," and she put his hand onto the cradle or the bassinet
Right.
or whatever, and then from there, I don't think it was necessarily him reading, but putting together, "She's the child."
They do also do a cut down to the Gallifreyan. Well, that's later with Amy. Oh my God.
But she said,
That's
"Don't you read? Don't
brilliant.
you read?" And the doctor's name would mean nothing to her if it could translate. But she said the Gallifreyan doesn't translate to Amy. That's why Amy couldn't read it. And if it's the doctor's name, that would tell her nothing about what happened to Melody.
But she looks at the leaf.
Afterwards, it's Gallifreyan. You're looking at the Gallifreyan. You can't translate that. And if it was the doctor's name, then that wouldn't have helped. That's why I thought it was Melody's name. So I gotta go watch the scene again because I thought the doctor had also looked at the crib rather than the leaf. And she was telling, so she was telling Amy, no, look at the leaf. This one will translate, because she looked at the crib. And I thought the doctor also looked at the crib, but we didn't see, I guess, his point of view that he was looking at the crib or the leaf. He was just looking down.
Hold on. Let me do. So, can I post pictures in here?
Oh, you can share a screen.
Okay, so I could do that. That's too small. Where's a larger picture of it?
This is all brilliant for an audio medium.
The two prevailing theories is one that they had the 24 hours or 24 years, and he told her during that time.
On Beryllium.
On Beryllium. And the other one, which I think is better, is when Melody kissed him with the poison lipstick and he was dying. And then she goes to give him her lives, her regenerations, when he's about to die, and he whispers something there. And I think, because from Science of the Library, there's only one time I could tell you, and that's when he really thinks he's going to die. So it's a theory, because we didn't actually see it, but going by what we have seen and watched from the actual episodes, not the other stuff, those two are the ones that people are standing out trying to figure out, is this could have been when it happened.
That's the bassinet. I just shared the link.
Okay.
And then I will leave it up to you guys to compare that, just so you can Google it yourself. Just if you Google the doctor's name in Gallifreyan and compare that to what everyone believes is the doctor's name in Gallifreyan to what's written on the cot. Sorry.
But where did all these people, where have they taken what they think the doctor's name is in Gallifreyan?
I think it's from the bassinet.
Yeah, so it's gonna matter.
But that's what I mean. That's why I think I'm not the only one who thinks that's the doctor's name.
I see what you're saying. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, from what I can tell, it's never been specified. It's not in any kind of canon form.
Yeah, it's just when she is carving into the home box in Gallifreyan, it's implied that she inherently knows Gallifreyan. So that's why I assume she could read the bassinet.
That's, again, the doctor being the doctor and making all these jumps that we don't usually make. It's like, wait a minute, how did he get to this? So I think that's a very good possibility. I like that. So there's three theories, and we got to see which way they
Frank,
go with it.
You read another one. Remember you said it. You said a theory to me earlier about what the doctor's name is.
Oh, yes. That no one. We've heard it so many times, and no one got it. Sweetie.
Oh.
Oh.
And what she said is, your name is Sweetie. And so that's just like, I would never tell anybody my name.
Well, from this episode, I think we'll name it the River Song Timelight episode / Bootstrap thingy.
I just realized something. I just realized, oh God, I'm going to open up another can of worms. Eugene, when you were talking about the Christmas special and we were doing the joking about the conception, it's not in the Christmas episode because she's not in the TARDIS.
Ah.
No, I'm just saying it's definitely not in the Christmas
Because
episode.
it's in the cruise ship. That's why.
Yeah, they're on the cruise ship, so that wouldn't do it.
I mean,
They have to be on the TARDIS.
Excellent,
that was
Brian.
well, we see their wedding. We see their wedding in one of the episodes that we watched.
No, I'm not saying that there is a specific instance. I'm just saying it's not
in the Christmas Carol.
Carol.
You can argue, like, do they need to conceive her?
And open worms everywhere.
When she's in the vortex, or just be exposed to the vortex while she's pregnant, because that's happened since conception anyway. She's been traveling back and forth.
Oh yeah,
that is a good point. Like what is it?
Yeah, that's a very good point.
The chronoton energy or whatever is attached to the TARDIS team if you travel long enough.
See, I thought it had to be part of conception because of what conception is, and that she had somehow become more part Time Lord.
Yeah, I mean, they do imply that, because, saying she's the child of implies that she was, I guess, born of or whatever. But, like, she still had, regardless, prolonged exposure, because she was a stowaway, we'll say.
But they're trying to make her more unique because other people have stayed with the Doctor for a long period of time.
But
like,
you know what?
Amy and
you are
Rory
right.
have been gone for 10 years, and it's only been 2 years on the planet,
So, hold on. So I think what we're confusing, I just realized this, because you said wedding night several times, and their honeymoon was on the cruise ship. Their wedding night, they said, goodbye, everyone, and then they went to go to Space Orient Express.
Yes.
And after some point in that time, they shacked up in the bunk beds while traveling back to their home.
Yeah, and
after the wedding night, they had a different room.
A good man goes to war. He's like, when would they have had time to copulate on the TARDIS? And then he realizes, oh, they were in the TARDIS on their wedding night. Like,
yeah, which they were.
Vastra.
Yeah, which they were, so that's correct.
Anyway, it's just putting these things out there that's not...
Yeah, which isn't pivotal to necessarily River, it's just pivotal.
Are we going to have to put some kind of warning on this one just because of the talk?
Oh, well, right now, he's not recording anymore. It's already stopped. Yeah. Yeah, this is a whole different podcast of, like, freaking... This is
our sister podcast, anywho.
Today's topic is the timeline of Amy and Rory's coitus schedule.
Yeah, where's that flow chart?
Literal flowchart.
Oh, duh.
Okay.
Oh man, this episode is for diehards.
Definitely.
So that wraps up our River Song timeline episode. Thanks for listening, Nate. Thanks for joining us for this one as well.
Thank you for having me.
So that wraps up our timeliney, wimey episode. Thanks for listening. Stay safe, and we will see you next time when the future becomes the present.
You just listened to an episode of Who Knew?
Our wonderful theme music is by Michael Grady.
Find him on Facebook at The Universe Explodes.
Additional music is by Damiel Paggio.
Additional music by Paul Ohlers.
All our episodes are engineered by Auburn, and you can find him at auburnbinkley.com.
You can also find this show in several places.
Follow us on Twitter at Who Knew Podcast.
Subscribe, review, and
listen to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Or on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Who Knew Podcast.
All our episodes are on whoknewpodcast.com.
Visit our Facebook page.
Please leave comments, reviews, and click like to support Who Knew Podcast.
To listen to our show on your Amazon Echo device, subscribe to us on Amazon Music,
and then ask your Amazon device to play your podcast subscriptions.
This podcast is inspired by Doctor Who,
the longest-running sci-fi show in history.
And especially the revival spearheaded by Russell T. Davis.
Thanks to Russell, Sidney Newman,
Verity Lambert, Ron Grainer,
and all those involved in the adventures of our favorite Time Lord.
Your work continues to inspire and entertain.